Okay, so good morning, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. Um, you see, I did some gym, so all my muscles are hurting. So if I see my face going funny, you know why. Okay, so let me just have a look if we are on Facebook visible. Mm. So, yes, we are online. That is great. So, I see there are also some people in there. If you can hear and see me, just send me some comments, and then we do our, I don't know, every 6 weeks, every 2 months, I do a normal Q&A, so that you definitely have all the opportunity to ask me all the questions you may have. If you see that later, no worries, you still have the opportunity. Go to our Facebook Messenger. Of course, please use the Funding Connection Facebook Messenger, and Kamal is there and will be able to guide you with whatever questions you may have to, so that we can give you a tip what to do, what is your next step. And in some cases, we are also cruel and say your chances to raise capital are really, really small. Okay, so what do I do today? Yes, number one is I have in 2 days master class again with the Wadwani Foundation. As soon as I get the Zoom link, I definitely will share them on that Zoom link on all my social media for you. It is on the 17th in today, so it's Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the evening. So we have lots of attendees from all over Africa with this master class. It's about how to prepare a funding application, and I will talk in general what you should do, what you shouldn't do, so that you are able to raise some capital. There are only a few people in there. Okay, let me just know who is in there. That would be lovely. Then I don't feel like I'm talking to my mic. Okay, so let me, in general, for applications, I know that, and of course I'm also understand it is a question of having a budget for it. If you do these things on your own, do me a couple of favors and don't do these things. Okay, number one is Zonke. Good morning, nice to see you here. Make sure it is a tidy application. Okay, so don't just I've seen different things. Okay, so some people just send a business plan and say, okay, so now leave it or take it, you know. So, and there is no documentations, no proof about all the assumptions done in the business plan. Yeah, so it's complex. It's nothing what you can do quickly on a weekend, I promise you that, you know. So take your time, put effort into it. I always say put some love into it. Yeah, so that the financier make it easy for them. You know, you want something from them, so don't just throw things at them and then say, okay, so now find the information you require out of this pile of documentations I'm drowning you in. That's the other extreme. Okay, I had. So when people just send and then did here some extra research and then they found maybe this is also relevant, let's throw this into it, and then there is a business plan like this with 150, 200 pages, and I'm going through there and say irrelevant, 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 you know. So what do we want to do in 20 years? Having there maybe a short vision, that is in order, but the financier want to understand what do you want to do now. You need some money. Let's say you need 10 million rand. What impact will this have? How will you be able to repay it? We are not talking about in 20 years. Okay, so we are talking about now the next 5 to 10 years. So this is just relevant for you, and just take your time, do these things, put effort into it, mm, organize it well, fill out the forms please so that somebody can read it. I also had forms, I couldn't even read this, and then it was crossed out and it was done so sloppy. I thought, you want 2 million rand? Your admin is that bad? And hey, I understand. My handwriting is chaotic. Okay, I barely are able, if I don't use a pen, then it is really difficult to read even for me. So that's why either way I do things on your computer, okay, or if, and I know that, so if you're not so familiar with this, it's a little bit of a hassle, but then find somebody whose handwriting is good enough that everybody is able to read it. Good morning, Oscar. Okay, nice to have you in here. So keep in mind, this is relevant. You want first impressions always counting. That I know it's a harsh reality, but make sure your first impression to the financier is good. Well prepared business plan, well prepared forms filled out, tidy, readable. I don't even know why I need to mention these. Do you hear me? So you understand why also financiers are sometimes really frustrated. And then also the supporting documentation. Make sure that they speak to the business plan and the financial forecast. Yeah. So, and it is not. I had sometimes business plans I read until the end, and I still didn't understand what they wanted to offer. So they talked about some industries, and I thought, yeah, okay, so and now, and what is your product, what is your service, what is the price per unit, all these things are, the business model needs to be clear. How are you able to earn money with what you're doing? Yeah. And this is something what needs to be clear. This is something what you need to communicate quite quickly in a business plan, so that you're not losing anybody and says they don't even know what they want to do, so, or sometimes also, I understand that, so if you are developing a business plan on your own, and then things change, okay, or somebody says, you know what, you need to create lots of jobs, and then they just then they add an extra chapter to it, job creation, 100 people will be employed, but there is no space for them. Okay, where do they work? There is no salaries and wages in the financial forecast. So what lots of people, and I shared that a couple of times, so business and a business plan is like a big puzzle, okay? And most of us, we know what's the product, we know to whom we want to sell it, we maybe know how to manufacture it, and then we know, okay, this is the amount we think we need to raise. And now we put these things together, and out of a sudden we see, oh, the market is only 10 units a month. The machine is able to do 100,000 units a month. There's a problem. Yeah? So the complexity and the connectivity is, specifically if you are a startup, lots of times not clear. Yeah? And that's why it makes sense to have a consultant on your side who is a little bit outside, who's also I understand. Hey, it's your baby. Okay, so Funding Connections definitely my baby. I understand how it feels if somebody says that is not working. So you need to come up with another idea, and I feel like, no, I don't want this. Yeah. So, but if you need to raise capital, you need to play by the rules of the financiers. Yeah, to increase your chances. Will you otherwise also have a chance? But then you really need to find the financier as like a needle in a haystack, then there is really only one out there who may have a look at it because he understands the industry, he's maybe a supplier to you, he's maybe a customer to you, who says, this is exactly what I need. Yeah? So, and this makes it then really, really difficult. If you play by the normal rules, your chances to raise the capital are a little bit higher, it's easier for you, and in most cases, it is just getting the foot in the door, start with the lowest hanging fruit where you are easily able to earn money with, and if you then still say, this is what I will do because I need to raise capital and I want to earn the money, but this is more the portion where I want to play, you can then later on just diversify or expand a little bit your service offering. Yeah. So this is something what I really, really recommend. Take your time. Don't rush it. If somebody says, yes, I can do the business plan quickly on a weekend, I'm always thinking, okay. So either way, it's an existing business. You have all the relevant information at hand. That's great. Okay. Then you may be able to do that. In general, if you haven't done a business plan before, specifically for a startup, it is not possible. Okay, really, really hard. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't say not possible, so sometimes things happen, but really, really difficult to do that really in a weekend. Yeah. So, we have some viewers in there. Are there any questions here this morning? What you want to know from me? Let me just see. So, because what we also do is sometimes people come to us and said, we tried to apply on our own with IDC, with NEF, with CIFA. We didn't get far. And then I said, okay, let me have a look at the business plan. Then we do an assessment. Then I also have a look what the financier, of course, said. What is missing, what is not clear, and then we just go through this and say, okay, so let's see, are you able to do this. It's not only a case of just amending the business plan, it's also more a case of finding the proof for your assumptions in your business plan. Yeah. So, and then of course it is also a challenge then for our clients to just listen to what we recommend. How can I say that? Yeah. So, and like I said, I know that. So it is your baby. It's, we as entrepreneurs, we are definitely always emotionally involved in what we offer because we love what we are doing. Okay. So I totally understand this. This is absolutely not a problem. But you always need to have your goal in mind, yeah? What's your success rate for assisting SMMEs to getting funding from NEF and IDC? Our success rate is around 80%, yeah? So we do that in between, and then sometimes it's 79, other times it's 82, but this is. Zonke, does Funding Connection have own funds or the application are made to financial institutions for funding? Zonke, we are a private consulting firm. We do not have our own funds. Yeah, we use all the funding opportunities here in South Africa and for some projects even internationally. So this is what we are doing. Yeah. So if we would have had our own fund, I'm always thought about it, but it's a totally different ball game because what we do at the moment is we are getting the information from you and we believe you that this information is correct. As a financier, you need to verify everything. Yeah. And I know we are just at the moment in the discussion with IDC for a specific product, and IDC said, okay, we've done we asked somebody to do a feasibility and market demand study for this specific product and determine if this is a viable business to go into it or not. And that also, of course, then means if this is in general the right industry to be in, but also for my clients in this regards, if this is a profitable business, what they maybe need to change to be able then to get funding and be successful. Yeah? Okay, nothing else here this morning. That is crazy. Usually I have here one question after the other. So, yes, lots of times we also do this, we're getting then and step up and help. In some cases, some also, it's like I said, it's not about then if the financier declined it. It's usually not about to change the financial forecast or the business plan. It's more that the supporting documentations for the plan are not strong enough. Or in some cases, the business plan is just a mess. So everybody who was involved in this business just thrown in their expertise and their skills, and the document grew. But the important portion, the business model. What's the business model? Okay, maybe let me just explain that at the end here. So the business model is your expertise, your access to market. It is about how much capital you need and for what exactly do you need the capital. What equipment do you need? Makes no sense if you are able to sell 100,000 units a month, but you're buying an equipment and machine what can produce 100,000 units a day or in an hour. Yeah. So you are spending too much money and it will not be profitable, because also the capacity, the size of the machine is usually, it is related. It makes no sense to sell a machine for R1,000,000 knowing that you can only do 3,000 Rand worth of sales a month with this. Yeah. Here's a key. What is the first step you take when someone approaches you to raise funding for them? Okay, so the first step on your side, Ezekiel, is definitely to know exactly how much money you need. So this is important. And then you, of course, also need to have a look at the expertise of the consulting firm, the success rate of the consulting firm. And that is sadly also something what I heard a lot, that people just pay the consultant lots of money, in some cases even cash, and this consultant just disappears. Yeah. So these and my heart is always bleeding, because I remember that when I started, I had no reputation. I'm from Germany. I had no network. I needed to build trust with clients. I started really, really small, with smaller amounts, helping people to fill out forms, just to build trust, to get some reputation, to get some testimonials. And I think but there are other consultants obviously out there. They just say, what, I do one application and then I'm sorted for this month, and then I'm doing it somewhere else again. So that's why for you, for your safety, it's just important, work with reputable companies. Yeah. And you don't want the harsh thing is also, if you work with somebody who's a one-man or one-woman show, something happens to this person, even if they are only sick, then there is nothing you get out of them. Yeah. So have a look for reputable companies. Have a look for somebody who has a team, who has some testimonials. That is definitely something what I recommend. So what's the cap amount for funding? Okay, it always depends on, CFA is 15 million, NEF is 75 million, IDC goes up to $1 billion, okay, and then there's of course also international funds out there. As a consulting firm, what is the first step you take? Okay, so Ezekiel, what we do is we first of all ask you a couple of questions, because out of our experience, we know exactly what's fundable and what is not fundable. And if your idea is not fundable, we will tell you, you know. So because in my eyes, it makes no sense to charge you now for a business plan and then later on we say, oh, so sorry, it's not working. Yeah. And so that is just important. That's why I said, get in contact with us. My team is asking you a couple of questions to get clarity. They will also tell you exactly what is expected from you. You know, usually to increase your chances dramatically, you need to have some sort of own contribution. And you need to have strong offtake agreements with reputable businesses to confirm that there will be sales. Yeah? And I, of course, I am aware of it, and also the financiers are aware of it, that you can't get offtake agreements if you want to do a takeaway, you know. So that's why then the feasibility study kicks in to see, okay, in this mall, how many people are in there, what are the competitors, what is the income brackets in this area of customers and clients, yeah. So that this all makes sense, you know. So if you're in rural areas, it makes no sense to have one of these French designer shops there. You know, the chances for them to sell something are quite small. They need to be in center, maybe here in Umschlanga or something like this. Yeah. So this is also, you need to have a look at what is your target market exactly, what would people like, you know. So and here's also South Africa has such a variety of religion also, you know. So if you are in a more Muslim area offering anything with pork or with alcohol, even offering alcohol there, would exclude lots of clients for you. Yeah, so that these are all the things you need to take into consideration. That's also something what of course the financiers see, you know, and they say this target market makes no sense. Yeah, Ezekiel, I would recommend just drop us via Facebook Messenger a message, and Kamal definitely will be able just to advise you and tell you, okay, this is what we need from you. Then we do an assessment of your venture, and then we can tell you, okay, this is what we can do for you. Yeah. Okay, this was an interesting Monday morning. We will not see us I assume the next 2 Mondays. My husband organized a nice week away, so, and I am available for emergencies, of course, also for my team. But we will go to Cape Town. I haven't been to Cape Town for a long time, so that will be really, really nice. Do you do blended funding applications, government and private? Yes, we structure capital raising. Yeah, it always depends on. So blended funding usually means here in South Africa. Okay, so SIFA and Land Bank offer some blended funding. That means a portion is a grant, the other portion would be a loan. But we are also structuring deals with government and private commercial banks, and even in some cases between different government financiers. Yeah. So we just have a look what is the best approach for you and how to do that best to get all the benefits. Okay. Depending on if there's a grant available, you know. So there are some rules and regulations, and it's not that you just can say, I want the grant from you and I want the loan from you, you know. So usually they have clear expectations how you need to do that. Okay, so let me just see. Miriam, I kindly get the recording for today. I'm currently in class. I would love students have excursion for finance, economic and accounting. Okay, Miriam, absolutely not a problem. All our videos stay on Facebook in any case. Regan, I teach graphic design software. I teach how to design all marketing materials such as brochures, social media banners. I'm not certified, but have been teaching for close to 10 years. Regan, that is great. Is there a question? Okay. If yes, just put the question in there. Even if we finished now the video, it doesn't matter. That is Cherise who's answering all your comments on social media, just to make sure that we are not missing anything there. Okay, and if you have any other questions, you know how to get hold of us. Let me just get here also our website in there. So fundingconnection.coza/contact. Okay, so that's also Purse. I have a house to let. Do I fit into any funding scheme? For what do you need capital, Purse? That is, so if you want now to update your house and renovate it, you may. It depends on just how much you need, and is it just a one residential, or so that is, I think we definitely need to have more information. Aloha, I do Airbnb and need funding for expansion. Is it possible? Airbnb is difficult, okay, because again, you don't get any offtake agreements. You are relying on people booking you via booking.com or Airbnb. If it is in hotspots, I think that's the right word for it, we may be able to look at it, because there are funds available. The problem with Airbnb is that there's usually no job creation, yeah, and that is of course one of the goals of the financiers, that they want to see that. So that is in some cases a little bit of a challenge. This is also something what I can't answer with yes or no. It's usually, so what you're doing here at the moment, both of you, the last two, doing, please buy me a vehicle. Okay, so, and now you go out and buy, let's say, a Harley Davidson, I would be really disappointed. My husband would be absolutely delighted. Okay, if you come now back with, let's say, a red Porsche, my dream car since I'm 11 years old, and I would be delighted. He would say, red, really? That's not what I want. You see, so it's just not enough information to be really able to say yes, possible, no, not possible. In general, I just can say these will be the challenges, but it does not mean that we can't overcome them. Yeah, okay, so let's see. I think that was definitely nice this morning. Thanks very much for taking part in this webinar. We will see us in Monday in 3 weeks again. I maybe do some short little videos while I'm in Cape Town from different locations when I come across something I want to share with you. Okay, otherwise, take good care. I wish you 1, 2, 3 successful weeks ahead of you, and then we talk soon. Bye. Pleasure, Ezekiel. Take good care.